Hello and welcome. So today I'm going to be making a display piece with this little 76 scale Land Rover with a piece of wild mango, and then I'm going to turn this down to make a base, and then I'm going to cast it with clear resin to make a dome, to make a little display piece of with the Land Rover. So I've got my piece of wild mango. I've already drawn the outline of the piece, so I'm going to, with the bandsaw, I'm going to cut around that roughly and put a hole in there for my worm screw, turn the OD and this face, set the Land Rover on there, and then use a tub. Those pieces will go in there and then cast it in. So I think that's my centre there. So you completely missed what's that? Need to go a bit higher. Alright, now with that done, onto the lathe. So onto the worm screw. First of all, we'll just face it off, because this is, well, the sides will get machined again later, but this face won't, so that's a nice piece of wood, that is. Let's see if that will fit in the pot. Oh, flying. So don't need to do the outside. That's going to be our base. It will be machined again later. Outside will be machined, so yeah, just going to give that a sand off. Yeah, just going to give that a sand off and treat that. Do I treat that surface is the question. Let's give it a go. So just thinking, do I do the outside so when the resin goes down, this is in resin as well? Let's do the outside as well. Take a second, won't it? Look at that. Give that a sand. Just give it a clean off with alcohol. Where's your rag on? Give that a minute to dry. Okay, so off camera I've glued Land Rover to the wild mango, and I'm just making up my resin now. I want this to be very, very clear, so I'm using brand new containers, using glass cast 50 plus deep pour resin. So I'm gonna make 2 lots of this up. That's 200 mils of part A and 95 of part B. Let's just do this one now. Not the best to do it in the workshop, but I haven't really got anywhere else to do it with the dust in the air, but I'm hoping we'll be all right and have a nice clear casting. Let's give this a mix. So once this is mixed, I'm going to put it in here, cast it in that little pot. Put that to one side a minute. I'm going to be using vacuum chamber and pressure pot, so hopefully air isn't going to be too much of an issue. First one I did, air was a huge issue because I didn't have the vacuum chamber and the pressure pot. So with that one in there, I think that's kind of the timber comes, the wood comes to about there, and then I'm going to fill the rest of it with resin. What I'll probably do is use one of these in the pour and put the other one next to it in the vacuum chamber to remove air. And then top it up with this one, and then put it in the pressure pot, and then leave that to cure. And yeah, I'm gonna hot glue that into the bottom and I've just used a bit of CA glue to hold the landy down. I like this wild mango. I've made a couple of pieces from that and it's really nice wood. I think that one's, I'll just do a reverse. So yeah, that should be mixed enough. Mix this one now. If this one goes well, I'm going to start making a few more of these. As I say, I didn't have the vacuum chamber and pressure pot last time, and it really didn't go well. Had it. The Land Rover, I mean, I'm using a Land Rover, but you could use other models and stuff like that. But they obviously hold an awful lot of air when you're casting, so it really just doesn't work unless you've got minimum vacuum chamber. But pressure pot will really help as well. I mean, this is deep cast, and last time I didn't use deep cast, which also didn't help. But hopefully this will cast well, and we'll have a lovely little model on a plinth with a resin dome over the top. That is the plan. And this is looking absolutely lovely and crystal clear. This is, I say, I'm not going to add any colour to this. This is just going to be, I'm aiming for just a crystal clear dome over the top of the model. This ultimately is a gift for a friend of mine. He's well into his Land Rovers. He's got a 90, pretty much exactly the same as that, slightly different colour, and it hasn't got the silver on the bonnet. But I think that'll do us. Take that one off. Right, let's get whilst that's standing for a minute or two, let's get these upside down on top, stopping the dust coming in. Right, I'm going to turn my hot glue gun on, get these out of the way. Let's see, the only thing is now going to be a bit awkward trying to get that one in the centre, because I've made it out of a slightly different, smaller size wood than this, so it's going to be floating around a little bit, but we might end up with resin down the sides and then it's resin over the wood and domed over. Hopefully that'll work, but if not, we'll soon find out, won't we? Right. Give that a bit more time. I'll bring you back once I've put it in there. Okay, welcome back. Don't know if you can see that. Yep. That's the oh, is that moving? I think it has moved, but okay. It's glue's set now. Or is it? Not perfectly central, but it'll have to do. Make sure it's nice and clean. So I pour the first amount of resin in. Okay, if you can, that's not quite covered the Land Rover, so let's try a bit more. I think I'm going to leave it like that and then put it in the pressure chamber in the vacuum pot. Vacuum chamber. I'll get there right in the end. So put that one in there, that one next to it. It get a little bit noisy now. Let's try and make sure, just making sure that this nozzle's not over the top of the over the pot, because sometimes it will draw it back into the gauge if I'm not careful. So okay, so vacuum's building. Let's see all the air coming out of it now. Just got to watch that it doesn't spill over, but that's a lot of air coming out of the model. To be fair, not a great deal of air coming out of the resin on its own. Got to watch this, that this doesn't spill over. But all this air is going to be coming out of the wood and the model. I mean, not that it needed it, but it will. This will stabilise the wood as well. Okay, so we've got a full vacuum. Now we've got a full vacuum, I'll turn the pump back off. I don't know if you heard me over the vacuum pump, but that's a full vacuum now, and there's a lot of air coming out, but not out of the resin on its own. So all of this air is coming out of the model and the wood. So I'm just going to leave it to stand for now for, well, probably about half an hour, because we've got quite a long pot time on this resin. I'll bring you back in about half an hour and see what it looks like. Welcome back. Well, this has been under vacuum now for over an hour. I've topped it up completely. I don't know what it's still under full vacuum. I think might do is leave it in the vacuum chamber overnight and then put it in the pressure pot tomorrow, because that's still a ridiculous amount of air coming out of that. What to do? I'll have a think and get back to you. So, got that out. Now, well, it's just going to show on camera. at that, it's crystal clear. So I'm going to put it in the
pressure pot now.
So, all pressurised. Let's see what, I'm going to probably have a quick look at it tomorrow. We'll keep an eye on the pressure, make sure the pressure stays up. And cross fingers, that's the casting done. Other than time. So, I'll catch you when I take it out. Hello, so it's now Tuesday. It's been in the pot since Friday. Let's have a look at what we're dealing with.
So that's looking lovely and clear in there. Looks like it's got some stuff, some rubbish landed on the top, but other than that, it looks good. So let's get her out of the pot. This might be a bit of a struggle. Might end up cutting it, but we'll have a go. Right, let's see if we can get some air in there.
So, don't think that recorded. Anyway, it's out the pot. So, got a bit of a weird yellowing on it. I think it's reflecting the wood. So, the question is, I'm saying it's weird. Optical illusion, as you turn it, it's getting bigger and smaller. So, interesting illusion on it. So I think I need to reinstate the worm screw, but if I put it in then I can't clean this end up. What to do, what to do, what to do. I can put it between centres and clean this up to a certain degree. I'll bring you back when I've made up my mind. Okay, so with the forcing a bit, I've drilled a hole in there that will fit my chuck. What I think I'll do first is I'll take the chuck out, put my centre in, put this between centres, and use that centre, and I forget what you'd call that, centre without a point, so it's just pushing on rather than putting a hole in, and I'll get turning. So whip my chuck off for a minute. First up, and my tail stop. And then I'll start shaping it. I use carbide to start with. When I'm on the wood I might be using traditional, but we'll see. That moved. Maybe I just didn't tighten it up enough. So I think the mould moved a little bit, but it might not be. Try and get this to run as true. Oh, I've got 2 high points. Let's try that. See how that. Right. I think to start with, I will tighten my banjo up. I've got it on quite a high speed. Let's see how well that runs. No, tell you what I'm going to do. Take her out with her on the speed. So changing over to the respirator now, and we'll do a bit of sanding and see what it looks like. Still got the tinge to it. That's disappointing. Oh, the wood's looking gorgeous. I'll continue sanding and see how it turns out. Welcome back, guys. So I've returned this one, make it more of a dome. I wanted the light to go, put a light in there, so that's kind of what it's going to look like. I'm going to have to try and get that one back on the lathe to make that hole bigger to sit the light in, because I don't want to mess around changing this, because if I do, I've got to start having it pack tested. So I think I'm going to take this up, make a jam chuck, push it into a jam chuck and turn that out. Let's see what I can do. Bring you back when I've set something up. Okay, so this isn't easy, but that's big enough now. Bit of clearance actually. So, going to try and get that a bit deeper now. This is not easy, but we'll get there. So we need to be at least 20mm deep. What are we now? 8mm deep. So I'm going to go a lot deeper than that. That didn't work. Hopefully that hasn't damaged the piece. I can chisel that out now. Let's try that in there. That fits in there nicely. Chisel that out. And then glue it in. Just got to make this smaller. Might do. Take the light out and then bandsaw that down. But I'll bring you back when I have an idea of what I'm going to do on that one. Okay, so get the chisels out. Let's make that flat in there. It's not looking too bad, to be fair. Right, just make this one a bit smaller. We ain't going to be far off. Okay, so I've cut that down. Going to now, I want the Land Rover to sit like that, I think, with the light coming out the back. So we put a cut in here. The cable.
try that out, shall we? See what that looks like. There we are. Give that another bit of a clean up. And glue that in. We're done. Bring it back once I've cleaned it up a bit more. So guys, that's the end project finished. Land Rover on wild mango with epoxy with a light installed in the bottom. I think it's come out very well. So that's without the light on, and in a second I'll pop the light on for you. I wasn't overly happy with the tinge of kind of a yellowy colour in it, but I think it's come out quite well. So thank you for watching, and oh, there you are, lights on now. And yeah, thank you for watching, and please like and share and subscribe. Thank you very much.